Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been putting off talking about this one for a while now, not because I didn't want to talk about it, but because I needed to get it right. And now it's time. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this exclusive discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Alright, enough talk. Let's get right into it.
Let's begin by examining the insights provided by our first reviewer.
This reviewer found that this electric scooter arrived almost completely assembled and was very well packed. While setup was mostly straightforward, our reviewer noted a couple of small challenges. Attaching the basket proved a bit tricky due to the placement of the screw holes, and while some tools were included, only the hex keys were of decent quality. Once the handlebars were on and a small zip tie was clipped, the vehicle was ready to go. The first ride was a marvel of silence. This client was struck by how incredibly quiet the scooter is in operation. There's no motor hum or tire noise. The only sound at higher speeds is a faint whistle of wind from the headlight housing. The brakes were found to be smooth and responsive without any jarring or grabby feel, and the tail light brightens when they are applied. The ride itself is comfortable, though it seems best suited for individuals under 510. At 511, our reviewer felt slightly hunched, but it wasn't a deal breaker. A major plus was the scooter's manageable weight, which made it much easier to carry up a flight of stairs compared to a heavier e-bike. They also discovered a useful and perhaps unmentioned feature. The rear suspension springs can be adjusted for stiffness. The reviewer found the factory setting too firm and was able to easily soften it for a smoother ride over bumps. The one significant downside, however, was the battery range. This client couldn't get close to the advertised mileage, especially with the lights on. Riding gently might yield about 12 miles, but consistent full-throttle use dropped the realistic range to around 8 miles, with performance weakening toward the end of the charge. Despite this limitation, the overall sentiment was overwhelmingly positive.
Wonderful. Now, let's explore the feedback from our next reviewer.
This reviewer opted for the higher-powered, long-range version of this seated electric scooter. While the delivery arrived a day later than initially estimated, this was a minor issue. Upon unboxing, our reviewer noted that the scooter was more compact than anticipated, but found its smaller size wasn't a drawback. The assembly process was fairly straightforward, taking about half an hour to get it ready to ride. They did mention there were a few tight spots to navigate when attaching the basket, but it was a manageable task that they were able to work through without much trouble. What makes this experience particularly interesting is the reviewer's background. At nearly 300 pounds and having not ridden any two-wheeled vehicle for 3 decades, they admitted to being quite nervous about the purchase. Their first attempt on the scooter revealed a sensitive acceleration that required a gentle touch, but they found the brakes and overall speed to be perfectly reasonable. After a few practice laps around their block to get comfortable, this client felt confident enough for a 2-mile round trip to a local store. During this short journey, they even managed to get it up to its top speed a few times, describing the handling as very nimble and responsive, which helped build their confidence quickly. After returning from this inaugural trip, one of the most impressive findings was the battery indicator, which still showed a full charge. The scooter's manageable weight also made it easy to carry and move around inside their apartment, a definite plus for storage. In the end, this client felt their expectations were met and they were quite pleased with their choice. They are looking forward to putting more miles on this personal scooter and taking it on more trips in the future.
Excellent. Let's find out what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer recently shared their experience with a new electric scooter, highlighting both the initial hurdles and the eventual satisfaction with the product. Upon arrival, our reviewer noted the robust packaging, which ensured this electric scooter arrived completely unscathed, a testament to good packing practices. While the overall package was quite heavy, unpacking revealed that the unit was largely pre-assembled, which significantly cut down on setup time. However, the initial excitement was quickly dampened when the scooter simply wouldn't power on. This client, unable to diagnose the issue themselves, reached out to customer service. They praised the prompt and supportive assistance received, which involved a series of back-and-forth emails. Through this diligent communication, it was discovered that a cable had been partially severed, preventing the scooter from operating. Fortunately, a replacement cable was promptly offered, resolving the frustrating problem and getting the ride ready. Once operational, this electric scooter truly began to impress. Our reviewer was particularly pleased with the bright front light, finding it more than adequate for safely navigating after dark. They were also struck by the scooter's apparent durability and robustness. In fact, they even tested its limits by riding it with another adult on board and reported no issues whatsoever, a remarkable feat. The integrated shock absorbers, both front and rear, were a major highlight, proving highly effective at smoothing out rides even on uneven pavement around the house, contributing greatly to rider comfort. The only minor quibble mentioned by this client was the lack of adjustability for the seat height. While it would be a nice-to-have feature, they confirmed it wasn't a deal-breaker, indicating the overall positive experience outweighed this small inconvenience.
And that's a wrap. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you've got thoughts. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.